And hi,
Hey, how are you?
good. How are you? Good to
Good.
have you
Good.
here today.
Good. Likewise. Nice to see you.
Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day. Are you
Yeah.
laboring?
After this interview, I'm actually going to set the film. Can you believe
I
that?
love
On
it.
Labor Day.
Nice.
You're
Good for
looking
you.
good.
You too. You too.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
So, guys, thank you for joining. Here with me, I have Joshua Bodjanac. He is the founder and CEO of JB Noble Interiors Limited. Joshua, can you introduce yourself to the wonderful audience?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me on, by the
Of
way.
course.
But my name is Joshua Bodjanac. I'm an interior designer in Beverly Hills, and I do projects internationally. But currently, most of my work is within the United States. Yeah, but that's my business. That's me.
Beautiful. I mean, I was just going through your work and I saw the wonderful stuff you've done, the colors you use. I'm a lover of colors and interior decoration as well. And I was actually inspired by your work. And
Thank you.
of course, you're welcome. I want to ask you this. At what age did you know that you were going to be an interior decorator?
So I actually wanted to be a vet first. Can you believe it? Animals. I,
Wow.
and then I shadowed a vet, and I was like, absolutely not. I was still in like middle school, but I decided that interior design was one of my paths in my late teens. Mid teens is when I really felt the passion and decided to pursue
Nice.
that. Yeah.
Wow, awesome. Awesome. And I also realized that you were top of the class in your school. And the school decided to incorporate some of your work to their syllabus. Can you
Yeah.
expatiate on that for us?
Yeah, so I started college quite young, and I did dual credits. So I was in high school and college at the same time. But by the time I graduated from the Art Institute, they did use my portfolio as an example, and they reset
Wow.
their standard to better their program, which was quite an honor. And
Wow.
yeah, it was really fun to go through the design school. I think a lot of people glamorize it though and think it's just playhouse and a lot of fun, but it was very intense. It was a very intense program.
Nice.
Yeah,
So your clientele list also includes people from outside America. I saw
correct.
that you've worked in Colombia and also in Europe. So
Yeah.
what does it take to, I mean, that sounds like a lot. How long does it take for you to, put everything together and deliver to the clients outside America?
So it depends on the scope of work and the project, but
Mhm.
typically I like to go see things in person because it just looks so much different when you're there and you can see details. But my projects range anywhere on the short side from a few months all the way to a couple years. So I have some
Mm.
projects ongoing right now that I've been working on for over 3 years so far. Uh,
Wow.
but the overseas projects typically take at least a year to complete.
A year.
A year, if not
Wow.
longer. Yeah.
Okay, cool and interesting. I did not know that interior decoration can take that long.
Yeah,
Um,
the average projects that I do right now take about a year, even
wow,
within the United States.
that is very informative. Thank you for giving us insights to your work.
Yeah.
And with the new world now, I mean, with the pandemic and the world trying to recover from this whole chaos, how has this affected your work?
In a way, there's been a very big surge in people wanting to redo their spaces because they're spending a lot more time
What?
at home. And typically, I've had clients. I'm like, you need art on that wall, and they're like, no, we're good. And now that they're home for a while, they're like, Josh, you're completely right. Get us an art piece. So it's just a change in, I think, in use of space and the amount of time that
Mhm.
people are spending in their space. The pandemic has done that, and people are taking a little more pride in their space and where they're waking up to perform work services as well now that they're working from
Mhm.
home too.
From
So that's been an
home.
interesting shift.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of businesses, ended and they close up their business because of the pandemic. Well,
Right.
I'm glad that the pandemic didn't affect your work. That's good to know. I mean, that's,
So far, so good. We're good for now.
some form of encouragement to other people that are almost giving up on whatever they are doing, because of the pandemic. I mean, guys, you heard him. He's busy, and we should, all have that spirit of being busy, even if things are not coming as the way we want it to come. I'm a sucker for beautiful things, and actually, maybe I'll have you design my office for me
Let's do
because
it. Let's do it.
yes, I
I love
mean,
I love beautiful things, and you know what's interesting though is beautiful spaces. It doesn't mean that you have to go completely crazy either.
right.
You have to love people, and you use things not the opposite way.
Hmm.
But what has been so interesting with all of this is that the you can shop high and low for
Hmm.
furniture products, and if you do things right and you source things almost like a search, the high-end things will complement the low, and nobody will know the difference if it's done right. And so you can
Wow.
have a space. Actually, I think a lot of people are surprised when the numbers and the budgets come in because
Mm.
you pick and choose where to get and source your product.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. So do you only decorate houses, and what other
yeah.
are there
So
other
my
hmm
main bread and butter is home design
okay.
and private residences, but I
Okay.
do a lot of restaurants, hotels. I have a
Wow.
few hotel projects in the works right now. Some yachts. We're getting into the private jets as well. So I'm doing a
What?
yacht out of here in LA. I just finished one out of Miami. So that's been really interesting. It's a very different scope of work because even the interior components of the furniture product you have to think of, where a normal mattress that you would have in a residential place, you could pick any mattress you want. On a boat, you have to pick a very specific kind of metal that's within the mattress so it doesn't rust with the salt air, for example. So
That's
that's just
right.
one difference, but it's very, very unique and fun. But I've done restaurants too, so it
Hmm.
just depends on the scope and what the clients have in their vision and what they would like me to be involved in. But typically, it's the residences and homes.
Residences and homes. Have you ever thought of working in a church, like, doing the interior for a church?
I designed a church out of Melbourne, Australia. So I
What?
designed a church there several years ago. I think that was maybe 5 years, 6 years ago was when I completed that project. It was a
Oh
lot
my
of fun.
God.
Yes, yeah.
Wow, working for the Lord. Guys, you heard
Yay.
it. I
Yes,
mean,
God is good.
this in fact, I am inspired by you already. I mean, I
No,
love colors. I
no,
love,
you're amazing. I look at your
beautiful
stuff too, and I'm
things.
inspired by you too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Likewise.
we
Guys, do you have any questions? Josh is here to answer your questions. Love you all. I see all the love emojis supporting my friend here, Josh. Please
thank you guys.
go follow him on Instagram and like and comment on his stuff. This, he's the kind of person that inspires the younger people. He's young too, and this is actually inspiring that he's doing great things and making moves. I mean, with everything that is happening now, a lot of people are discouraged, but yeah, we have Josh who is giving us good vibes. You see,
Thank you.
guys. So if you have any question, please use the question box to ask your question. I'm going to be doing a little giveaway for those that ask good questions. So let's go, guys. Shoot your questions. While we're waiting for the questions to come in, do you have any words for people that want to go into maybe your kind of business, and they're just starting up? What would you advise them? I mean, as a startup for them?
Yeah, I would say, don't be afraid of failing. A lot of times I say that I feel like a little squirrel that's jumping from one branch to the next,
Hmm.
and you really don't understand and know if you're going to make it to that next branch, right? But you
True.
will never know the answer unless you give it a shot. So even if, as long as you have honesty under your belt and you have a drive and a vision, go for it, try it. The worst that'll happen is you are where you are, you know?
Amen.
That would be
Yeah.
my advice.
Hmm. So, one thing I almost forgot to ask you because I'm just too excited to have you. Um, I want to ask you, every work has its own challenges. What are some challenges that you've had in the process of your work?
Okay, so some really fun ones is when I've got like a couple and she loves one thing, he hates the next, and I feel like a marriage counselor instead of an interior designer. You know, you have to come to the middle ground, but it's a challenge and it's fun. In the end,
Mhm.
you know, you have to realize that both of those individuals are living and growing in that space together.
Mm.
So a lot of times we just, you know, kind of come to a middle ground where both of them like it, but it becomes a challenge. And I see here
Wow.
a question.
Yes, we
There,
have a
uh,
question from Harifa. She says, "What colors inspires you to bring more creativity into your work?"
I love the earthy tones and the colors that come from nature. So the blues and the greens, the aqua hues. I love blues. I think they're very soothing colors. But again, it also depends on what the intent of the space is. So
Hmm.
there's a lot behind color theory. So
Mm-hmm.
in a kitchen, for example, if you put red, you can even think about McDonald's. Okay, red and yellow, if you put bright neon colors and you put those warmer tones, the reds, the oranges, it actually will cause people to eat faster. And that's why they have those.
What?
So, and if you serve things on a purple plate, you're likely to eat less than if you were to serve it on a green plate. So people get more angry in a red room than they would in a blue room. However, a
Wow.
blue room will drop the temperature of the color by 3 degrees in a space. So if you paint your basement a cool tone,
Hmm.
without it actually changing temperature, it will drop in how you feel and experience that space. So
Hmm. Hmm.
knowing those things, I determine the color palettes for the space and what the overall goal is for that project.
Hmm. Wow, that's interesting. I never knew colors can actually affect people like that,
Up to three
generally.
degrees in temperature. Yeah, it's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, that's very inciting. And guys, do you have more questions from another person? You know, we have more, we're taking more questions. And please don't forget to go follow Joshua and show him some love. You know how we do. So let's do that. Have anyone, I think there's something mixing from that question. Yeah. Okay, so how do you normally get your clients? Do you go by recommendation or do you go out to source out for your clients?
Yep. So I actually, all of my clients are from word of mouth. It's all been a recommendation from a past client or a current client, and so that's the biggest compliment that I can get.
Hmm.
But it's all been word of mouth up until this point.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Wow. Someone just said here that there are a lot of young people in Africa with much potential, but due to the challenges, they are scared of the unknown. What will be your advice to them? And that question is from Star Stell. I'm
That's
sure
such
that's
a
their
good question.
handle. Yeah.
Um, so I think that regardless of your current circumstance, none of us know what's coming next, right? So even for myself, I don't know how long this amazing ride's going to go. You know, something could happen that changes my career path, or that you know, God forbid, my health or something changes. But
Mm.
just take the time you have and use the skill set that you have now to take those leaps, and don't be afraid again of the failing, because there's no such thing as a bad learning experience. Everything's
True.
going to be experience, and it's going to
Mm.
help you to shape and grow, and you're going to become more educated on what not to do, at the least.
Wow.
So I would give advice there and just say, use the resources that you have available to you, and don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask, because the answer will always be no if you don't ask.
Wow. That's a very good point. Thank you, Joshua, for
Yeah.
sharing that with us. And the last question we're going to take today is black and white color in a room signifies what? And the question is from Shidebere. I'm sure that person is from Nigeria. Guys, can
So
you put your flags, please, so Josh will know where
there you
you're
go.
from?
And thank you for that comment, Jeff. And okay, so black and white color. So black is more of a, it's a deep tone. there's a lot of religious significance and also spiritual and to those tones and colors, but black and white are actually considered non-color. So black, white,
Wow.
gray, those are considered non-colors, but they do have different undertones within those colors that again can draw from the color theory, where if you have a French gray, for example, which is a warmer color that's underneath the grays, that will give you those attributes that are more on the warmer side of the color palette versus a cool gray, which is more of a blue gray.
Wow.
So it also depends on how those colors are interacting with each other and how they interact in the room, because they're influenced by each other with their vibrations. That's right
Awesome.
there.
And I must say, Josh, you have a good vibration. You have a good vibe.
You
I
do
could
too.
I could literally feel it from here. Oh my God,
Thank
we
you.
have people from, you're welcome. We have people from Ireland, from Nigeria, from Denmark. Keep it coming, guys. I really love this session. And I'm happy we did this, Josh. And hopefully in
Thank you.
future we do this again. And I'm looking forward to you designing my office. And guys, please hit him up on his Instagram. And I mean, be professional if you want to work with him. Please don't go bugging my friend. Just, if you want to work with him, send a professional email, and I'm sure he has his website on in his bio, and you can follow his work and encourage him and like his post and make good comments. And he has his business page as well. The handle is in his bio. Go follow him and show him some love. And Josh, I just want to thank you so much. Do you have any last word to say before we say bye-bye?
No, just thank you so much, and I really appreciated this. This was very nice. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Josh. And do enjoy the rest of your Labor Day holiday.
You too. You too. Thank you
All
so much.
righty. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a
Bye
nice
bye.
day. Have a good night. Bye.